A very good morning, children. Welcome back to Social Studies class of Standard 4. Today we are going to begin a new lesson, and this will be the last lesson for first semester. The name of the lesson is States of India. So I'll be finishing this lesson this week. We'll do the lesson today, and we will discuss the exercises in the next video. And after that, in the coming week, we will revise the lessons. Okay, so let us begin this lesson. As you know, India became independent on 15th August 1947, and before this day, India was under British rule. It became a republic on 26 January 1950, and from this day onwards, India got its own constitution. It became a republic. India is the largest democratic country in the world. Every Indian has the right to choose people to form a government. So there are two red words you can see, republic and democratic, and the meaning of these two words are given at the bottom of the lesson of the page 52. In the bottom you will see the meaning is given. Republic, a country where the head of the state or country is elected for a fixed term, and democratic means a country where people elect their representatives to rule on their behalf. So these two are important words. You learn the spelling of the words and also learn the meaning of these two words from page number 52. Now we have the government to look after our safety and welfare, because India is a very big country, and to govern such a big country, governments have been formed at two levels. Single-handedly, the center cannot take care of such a big country. So in India, we have two levels. The government at the central level is called central government, and the governments at the state level are called state government. So these are the two levels. One is central government and the second is state government. Now you can see the word governments used there for state level. Why is it so? It is so because we have so many states. In fact, we have 29 states, and so we have 29 state governments in India. And all of these we will be learning about them in the chapter now. Now, central government. Central government means the government which we have at the center. So the offices of the central government are in New Delhi, which is the capital of India. The president, the prime minister, and other ministers, senior officers of the central government, they all work and live in Delhi. Now you can see here central government is in red. That means you will find the meaning of this word also when you look at page number 54. Down there you can find central government, the government for the entire country. So one government which we have for the entire country is called central government. And similarly, here you can see I have put the pictures of two important personalities of central government, the president and the prime minister of India. You must be aware of their names. Our president is Mr. Ramnath Kovind, and our prime minister is Mr. Narendra Modi. Here you can see this is the secretariat. This building is called the secretariat, and it is the place where most of the central government offices are located. We also have the Parliament House in Delhi, which is the seat of all the functionings of our government. Central government sits there and functions there in the Parliament House, and these are the offices of other government officials. Now we move to the states. There are 29 states in our country, and each state has its own government to look after the welfare of the people. Every state has its capital. Every state has a governor, chief minister, other ministers, and senior government officers. Now, like we have all the central government offices in Delhi, we have these state government offices in the capital of that city. Like all the important officials of our state, Jharkhand, they are in Ranchi. The governor's house, Chief Minister's house, offices of ministers, their houses, all this can be found in Ranchi. Rajasthan is the largest state in India and Goa is the smallest. Uttar Pradesh has the largest population while Sikkim has the lowest population in the country. So these are some facts which you will learn by heart. You have to remember these facts. Okay. Now here I have put the picture of the governor and chief minister of our state Jharkhand. Their names, do I need to say? Okay, let me say. Our governor is Mrs. Draupadi Murmu and our chief minister is Mr. Hemant Soren. So these are two important personalities of our state government. So similarly we have other state governments, they have their own chief minister, they have their own governor, there are many more officials, we have cabinet ministers in the center. So if you want to know more about these, you can visit my tutorial, the videos which I have made for class 5, because in chapter 5 they have learnt about our government. This chapter was done immediately after summer vacation. So after summer vacation, when you go to class 5 videos, you will find 3-4 videos on our government, and there I have tried to cover most of the things. I have put many pictures of the chief ministers of all the states in our country. There are some more information which you may learn about by visiting that site. Okay, you can learn from the video tutorials of standard 5, chapter 5 if you wish. Now we move to union territories. Now we have learnt about central government, we have learnt about state government. Now there is something different called union territories. What are these? Some parts of our country are directly under the control of the central government. These are small areas like a state or even smaller, but they do not have their own state government. Instead, a representative of center, they are there to take care of these areas, and these areas are called union territories and they are controlled by the central government. They do not have their own state government, and there are 7 such union territories in India. The names of these union territories are given in the book. Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Chandigarh, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu, Delhi, Lakshadweep and Puducherry. Now there is another table showing the states of our country. States, their capitals and the main languages, and one table showing union territories and their capitals. So you will have to learn at least the names of the states, union territories and their capitals. Main languages you may just try to remember as many as you can, but capitals you definitely will have to remember, of all the 29 states and of all the 7 union territories. And I am sure you must be knowing many of them already. So it won't be a very big deal for you. You all will be able to learn it very fast. So now we move to the star fact. New Delhi became capital of India in 1911. Earlier it was Calcutta, which is now called Kolkata. So before independence itself, the capital of India moved from Calcutta to New Delhi, and New Delhi became the new capital of India in 1911. There are 2 more facts about union territories which I missed. It is given in the book and you have to learn that also. It is in the Andaman and Nicobar Island is the largest union territory and Lakshadweep is the smallest union territory. So these things, the names of the capitals of all the 29 states, of the 7 union territories, the star fact, then other facts about states and union territories you have to learn by heart. And you also will have to learn the red words, democratic, republic and central government. Learn their spellings, learn their meanings. So let us keep learning the lesson. We will continue in the next tutorial where we will be discussing the exercises. So you try to do the exercises yourself, and then we will check the answers, and those who have not been able to do, which I am sure all of you will be able to do, we will learn the answers too. So till we meet again with the new tutorial, keep happy, keep keep smiling, and keep learning.